Welcome everyone to Analytics Are For the Nerds. We might not, we're not in football season just yet, but we've got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the.
And we are going to draft whatever Olympic sport we think should be an Olympic sport.
And that is carrying the grocery bags in from the trunk to the car to the house.
Would people like the strongmen would like literally have them lined along their arms. You know, oh my God, so great. That's taken, but hide and seek would be fun as hell. Hide and seek would be so much fun.
Choices. I'm going to go with a game that we all grew up playing, dodgeball. Why is that not an Olympic sport?
Mine is a lost art form that I feel like only World War II veterans knew how to do, and that's whistling.
Annoying your significant other. I feel like, you know, that could be an Olympic event where many of us could thrive. And
oh, look at someone editing. Louie, look at you.
You know what? You want to hear something really funny? That was for our draft review episode that I did, and totally forgot that was only for that. But hey, it was for this episode too. And go watch the draft review of our best Olympic sports.
I think people are just like, what are they talking about? Grocery bags and World War II whistlers? What is happening? But welcome everyone. Ryan, nice to see you. Louie, nice to see you as well. Louie, you're kind of freezing up a little bit, but your background looks nice and blurred. Yeah, how's it going? How's your week, everyone?
I'm just so happy right now. I'm not the one with any internet issues. This is great. I'm off to a great start tonight.
I love it. Louis is so paranoid now. He's like, oh no.
I know. Is it? No, I'm way behind.
That's okay. That's okay. We're on Wednesday and it's we're halfway through the year, right? Hello? No, we're not quite. We're in full hockey. He'll come back out in a second. I'm gonna add him. Oh, device is not okay. Louis, you're not connected, but that's okay. So we are, talking a lot of football, but we've got so much fun hockey going on right now. We're also in that great time of year where it's baseball. I love the Mets right now. I know Louis does too, so I'm just bringing that up so he's painfully. But we've got baseball, we've got hockey. The Sabres are in it right now. So much excitement. The Masters are coming up. It's just a great time to be a sports fan. Louis, we just did 20 minutes on the Mets. So sorry you missed that.
No, it's the best. It is the best time of year with sports. I mean, hockey playoffs are like the best. And Masters this weekend, draft in 2 weeks. Like, yeah, let's go. It's a lot. There's a lot of fun stuff.
There's a certain, I read this, there's certain things that, speaking of the Masters, and I always will bring up, Brian, how you went a couple years ago and you had the pimento sandwich, but there's a few words that broadcasters are not allowed to say. Do you guys know about this?
No.
Okay, so there's certain words that they're not allowed to say. One is the word fans. So, they have to use words such as patrons. They can't say fans, right? Because it's more proper that way. They can't use the word rough. So every golfer might end up in the rough, but they have to use,
Second cut.
Yes, you've been there. And then they can't use sand trap.
I would say bunker.
Yes. Wow. And then can't use the phrase the back nine. What do you got there, Ryan?
I will say
the butthole.
The front two.
The back you can't use the term the back nine. I don't know.
The second nine.
Second nine.
Always okay. Second really? Nine. So you're killing it on this Jeopardy. And then Louis not even buzzing in. Okay, they can't use driving range. This one's kind of fun.
Just not just.
No, it wouldn't just be range.
I'll go.
Practice range. Very
close. So they have to instead say the tournament practice area.
Okay.
doesn't sound as fun as hey, driving range.
Do you think it's just because of, is this like because of the uppityness of
exclusiveness of the club?
Yeah.
And I also think, I mean, technically there are other things other than like it's not just a driving range. So you're also able to, I think, work on, chipping and that sort of thing, greens work, putting. So it's a practice area. That makes more sense.
Obviously they can't say country club or golf course because they have to say Augusta National Golf Club. There's nothing more, nothing less. Here's something fun. Maybe Ryan, you'll know this, but Louie, I feel like this is up your alley. They can't use the word twosome. Do you know what they say instead?
Pairing.
Yes.
Yeah, pairing. I would have known that. I would have got that. You didn't give me enough time to answer, right?
No, that's not how Jeopardy works, Lou. All right.
Yeah.
This is. Oh wait, you got one.
Yeah, one more. I got one more.
Okay, do one more because I got a funny thing about.
I got two more actually. Fourth round.
All right.
Fourth round. What are they saying instead of fourth?
The final round.
Yes, there you go. And then
baby.
Sponsors.
Oh.
Partners.
So sponsors run golf except at the Masters. Broadcasters drop the branding completely, which was pretty interesting.
I think they're going to have a lot of trouble with this this weekend with Bert Kreischer and Kevin Hart. And I mean, come on, what are they doing to the Masters, man? I am like so upset about it.
Well, did you see did you watch the NBA, the women's NCAA championship?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't use the word back nine, but like Louis going to say a very offensive word. I'm like, okay, that's why I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, wait, I didn't catch it, but why there was more special guests?
There was special guests. I think it was Jess Simmons. She's a Peloton person. Then there was the Olympian who won the rugby, like for Team USA. But they were just like, it was crickets there because they're all like non-basketball people announcing a basketball game. And it just doesn't hit. Like, I can't stress this enough. The broadcasters, the reporters on the sidelines, on the court, on anywhere, that's an actual job. That's not easy. And it takes talent to be a writer or a broadcaster, or someone that, has background in it. And speaking of that, we've got a new reporter here on our podcast representing Blitz Media, Louie.
Yeah, I want to share that. I'm now signed up with Blitz Media, doing a bunch of articles. I did done a couple. I took our fantasy categories game that we do here and made it into one article. That's fun. That's out on the site, blitzmedia.com. And then I did it's a 2-part thing. I only got one part out because the first part took me longer than any school paper this year. And that is, I did power rankings on vibes only power rankings. So that's fun. That's out there. Just did a couple podcasts with them on doing some mock drafts. That's out on the site. So yeah, you'll be seeing me a lot more there, and hopefully, catch it there.
That's awesome. Congratulations. They're very lucky to have you. You're an excellent writer, and you have a lot of knowledge on this stuff. I was hoping you were going to say there's a top 10 list of like men's moisturizer with at least 25% SPF, top 10. So
no, I will say this, not that I won't go that far, but I did tell them, I won't mention the outfit that I worked for before, where it was very much just like a clickbaity type of site that just wanted bland, dry stuff just to get clicks. And I was like, if I'm coming here, and during the interview, I was like, I want Carte Blanche to be me, and I want to bring humor and fun. And so every article will have some fun to it. I won't be boring. That's great. Sure.
Hey, Louie, congratulations. That is a throwback. Well, congratulations. We're excited. And Ryan, keep killing it with your master's backs and just representing people as an attorney. So we did discuss it earlier. There's a lot of attorney client privileges that we can't discuss. That's why I can't ask Ryan about his personal life. So guys, we have a very, very juicy thing to talk about. I love a good scandal that doesn't involve really anything that pertains to me. I'm also very boring, so it never will. But we've got a new potential love match in the NFL world. Now, Mike Vrabel, everyone. Now, did you guys hear about this great story?
Oh
This
yes,
amazing.
I'm captivated by
hard.
this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's all over. It's with two people I can't hate more. Like I literally hate them both separately so much, and it's even better. With that, it's even more of a train wreck. So yeah,
no,
I mean,
you
tell
want to
us
kind of go into what you know? We can kind of team this up together as you're the new sports writer. Ryan will keep it PC and legal, and then I will just throw in some one-liners. You want to kind of tell the audience what happened?
No one could keep me PC, you know that. No, it's and I and Ryan, you both have some things because there's just so much information being thrown at us right now that it's like, but they got caught. The Diana Ruizini, reporter, and Vrabel holding hands, being
In Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, being a little touchy feely. Rossini has always had a very, she's always right on top of rumors that have been in Tennessee when he was there, New England years. So this is making a little bit of sense. They're both married. There was the story in 2015 when Rossini got accused of then the Redskins GM's wife, who said that she was getting inside scoops by sleeping with people. I mean, this has been a thing with Rossini forever, and now this thing with Vrabel, man, go ahead.
It's bonkers. It's not bonkers. This is what happens. But I don't know what kind of hide inside stories you're going to get, like from a coach being like, "Hey, so we're gonna start everyone that we posted."
Now, I think this is the crazy thing, and sorry, I'll let you talk, right?
Please, no.
This is what I was thinking about today. Is she's never right. So I think the funniest thing is that he's actually feeding her wrong stories after sleeping with her. Like if he wants the story out the way he wants it out, and he's giving her the wrong story, like he's actually using her. And
what story's not been true?
Anybody. She has never been right about anything. If you give
Josh Rosen was going to Buffalo. That was the
no. I'm talking about
ever being right. I mean,
I thought you were talking about Vrabel.
Oh, no. I'm saying any story she's ever broke has never been right. So I think it's funny that if she is doing this to get inside scoops and he's feeding her the wrong ones just to get that information out, and he's just literally using her for sex and to get that information out, that's even funnier. Not funnier. I know. I got to be careful here. I get it, PC. I know. But at the end of the day, there could just be horrible people, right? Like I want to watch my words here, but these two people could just be bad people. Also, I don't want to kink shame. Maybe they're the husbands and wives are into this type of thing. I have learned you can't kink shame anybody. Maybe it's an agreement. I don't know.
So there's there's statements from both parties. I will say this first. If anyone has not seen the photos, they're in a pool together, and Diana has her arms crossed, which I also would too, because I'm just trying to like keep the sun away from me. Keeps you younger. And then there's a picture of them holding hands, and there's several reports of them both, Mike and Diana, both holding hands, and not in like a this way, like like a statue that you put your hand in clay. It was like the finger interlocking one, which is way more emotional and sensual. Sensual. Yeah. But so this is what Diana's post was. The photos don't represent the group of 6 people who were hanging out during the day. Like most journalists in the NFL, reporters interact with sources away from stadiums and other venues or bedrooms. She didn't add the last part. And then the one that Mike said is, these photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable. This doesn't deserve any further response, which, that's fun. And then in other news, New York State posted this on Twitter, which is today at 7 a.m. It's or I'm sorry, on X, it's hole filling season. If you see a pothole on a New York State road or highway, you can report it by calling 1-800-POTHOLE. Thanks. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this story, but gotta love New York highway. All right. Do we believe Ryan? Now this is your legal. Would you have advised them to say something differently? Is it better to respond to it? Is it better to just ignore it, or just deny? And do we care?
No. So I don't know. I mean, this is just a really funny story all around. The denial, she mentions there were 6 other people there, but she doesn't tell us that it was actually a couples retreat that they were all on, which would have provided a really important answer there. Listen, there is no way you can look at that situation and say that you're not, romantically involved, and that it probably hasn't been going on for quite some time. I mean, then of course, like you have the internet sleuths who will be digging up, the past tweets about how she had found some information, and basically had just been feeding information about how bad the Titans were as soon as they canned Vrabel. Not only was she involved supposedly with the Washington Commanders GM back then, but she was also supposedly in a love triangle with Sean McVay and Britt McHenry, the other reporter, who neither of them knew that they were both, hanging out or banging with Sean McVay. So anyways, yeah, it's a situation for sure. I just think it's so funny, like all of this stuff that then comes out and how she's speaking about her husband. There's also, I mean, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Like, so there's now interviews where she's talking about her husband and how her mom says that she's, he's like, oh, he's looking really good. She's probably got a girlfriend, and she's talking about how her marriage is falling apart on air. It's just really raunchy like behavior. And I feel like I knew nothing about Diana Rossini a week ago. And now it's just like, now I know so much about, or I think I know so much about her. It's terrible.
Clock that T, sis. Wow.
Listen to this on Get Up in 2021. And now again, it's just joking around-ish, but now it's even weirder and weirder. This is in 2021. I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about them. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too. Like, she is saying things about her husband like that. Like, what is going on? And I mean, it's almost like I don't know. Something is different there.
She got married in 2020 as well, so that's also not
like an hour. Yeah, the honeymoon phase did not last long. Yeah.
Wow. Wait till she hits 7. Wow. All right. So on that note, let's thoughts and prayers for them, if we're still saying that. But man, gotta love post/preseason, right? Okay.
Anything that can distract the Patriots a little bit more, I'm all about. So yeah, I'm in.
Also, you know what? Before we get into who's the idiot, besides these two, not you two, like those two, Mike and Diana, but there was the I think it was year 18. It was the 18th anniversary or 17th anniversary of when all the head coaches go out, I think, to Scottsdale, and they just do a day drinking event. So that was, I think, last week.
Yeah.
So that's a very extended vacation. Like, hey, we had one day of day drinking. Now I owe it to my wife to have a week at a very fancy resort in Arizona. So anyway, good for them. All right. Football, right? Okay.
Allie's like, Ryan, tell me more about those old tweets. I want to know.
I'm very excited. I'm telling you, I can't wait. So we're going to play Who's the Idiot. For anyone new to the podcast, this is where I say something about football, and the boys have to convince me that they're not an idiot. So that's as simple as it gets, right? All right. So I think that's how it is. So my first question is, who's the idiot? Who is your biggest bust this year? Who's your biggest sleeper? Let's go, Louis. Let's go first.
All right. I will start with my bust. I'm only because I'm so sure Ryan Muir is going to do this. I'm going to do 2 for each real quick, and I just know Muir will do it. But my busts are Nico Collins and Kyron Williams. Williams, I have like 0%. Nico is at a spot in the draft that like you almost want to mix him in a little bit. And the reason why I feel like I'm a little bit more worried about calling Nico a bust is that I think he's a bust where he's getting drafted, but I think it's really hard for good wide receivers just to like fall off the cliff. But with Tank Dell coming back, I think that there was some real chemistry there with him and Stroud when he was healthy. I think Jaden Higgins is a really good wide receiver and is going to take some. I don't think Jalen Knowles horrible. I'm a little bit down on Nico, and especially in that area where there's a lot of, fun guys to draft. I just haven't been picking on him. Kyron's dead to me. I mean, you saw Corum almost be 50-50 towards the last 8 games last year. I just don't see how that doesn't get cut into more. So that's my answers for bust and sleepers. I'll go just one here. But even though I have pushed Christian Kirk to the moon and keep on talking about him, I won't use him here. I will use Dowdle, Rico Dowdle for the Steelers. I just think he's going to be clear cut the better back in that offense, and I think that offense is going to be good. We might be talking about it here in a little bit, so I'll save some of my thoughts, but I think Dowdle is a great value where he's going.
All right, for biggest bust, I'm going to go with Christy Nome's husband. And that would have played better last week when we were supposed to do this, but I still made the joke anyways. And that is for my second pick. I'm going to go Marion Hampton. Again, it's all relative to ADP. He's going right now as like a mid-second round pick. I can't get there with him anymore with what I think the backfield is going to look like. And actually what I expect to be maybe more of a focus on a passing offense. You might think that, maybe there's a benefit to getting more red zone opportunities and he gets there on touchdowns. But I think from a usage standpoint, I think there's going to be enough with Vidal and Mitchell that I don't think he's going to pay off that price tag. As far as a sleeper goes, this is a really deep sleeper. And I'll say this with a caveat. There's a lot that needs to go, I think, in this guy's direction. But from a concept, I really like it. It's Eli Stowers. And he's basically a free late round tight end dart throw from a best ball perspective right now. From a dynasty perspective, I really think you're going to want to get in on this guy. If he gets day 2, or second round draft capital, he may have a chance to do something this year. It might be a longer term bet, but he's more of a receiving tight end. And I think that profile is pretty interesting. So if he goes to the right team that has an opening, I think he could produce. And he's my late round deep sleeper.
That's very interesting. Going back to Christy Nome's husband's bust. Those were very almost like what a 9-year-old would draw, what he thinks. Right? They were just not, it wasn't proportional. And I think that was the point, but man, right?
Yeah, it was.
You missing the show last week was a tragedy for many reasons, but that was one of them. Is that we did not have an everything and nothing to spend talking about that.
Would have talked about the mass of the breast and the small nipple. There's so many things.
Isn't it so sad that we live in a world that 1 week after that story is fucking outdated because the rest of the world is falling apart? Is that not fucked up?
Yeah.
I mean, it really, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to get on this ramp, but holy fuck.
Well, now aliens are real. I mean, how many other things can they distract us with? I mean, they're throwing everything out at us at this point.
Poor Dan Quayle's just being like, potatoes, everyone. I messed up potatoes. I want that butterfly effect movie about that line or just the sliding.
First Dan Quayle reference on the podcast.
I've got to type, everyone. I've got to type. All right. I guess we're going to keep moving on with sports. So please pardon how I word this question, everyone. So can you both give me 2 playoff teams from last year that will miss this year, and 2 non-playoff teams that will make it this year? That makes sense. Yeah.
Sure. I'll start here, I guess. Just going to volunteer myself, I guess.
Yeah.
For the playoff teams that are going to miss, I think this one's pretty obvious, and I wouldn't be surprised if I at least had one match with Louis here. But I'm going to say the Steelers and the Panthers. So the Steelers, in my opinion, they are not getting better this offseason. And the only thing they're really doing is running it back with mostly the same guys and Michael Pittman. I just can't see it working again. With McCarthy stepping in there, it's not going to change anything for me. And then the Panthers, they just basically squeaked in. They had a terrible record. The whole other rest of the NFC South just imploded. So I don't see it with Bryce Young. I really don't. They're going to have a new quarterback in 2027. Two teams that miss that I think are going to make are going to be the Ravens and the Vikings. Ravens, again, I'm just betting on them regressing to the mean. Lamar Jackson looking like Lamar again. This year he's rejuvenated with the new coach, and they just have a good team. And then from the Vikings perspective, Kevin O'Connell has made every single quarterback work other than JJ McCarthy, and I'm just betting that he can do that again with Murray. So Vikings are a really good team. I think he's a really good coach, so I expect them to make it this year.
So, yeah, we have two similarities here, and I will say this for the two playoff teams that are going to miss. I will say Steelers is one of mine, but I'm like, as I'm talking through this episode, I got one more answer here for another question when we talk about that, is that I'm talking positively about the Steelers offense this year. I think it does have the ability to be okay. I think that's more suited because I think they're going to be worse defensively and just a little bit better offensively and not as good of a team. So I agree with you that they missed the playoffs. I am getting a little bit more on their offense fantasy wise. The other team is the Pats. And that's not because Mike Vrabel is sleeping with Diana Rossini. I think that they had the easiest schedule in the world last year. I think they had a lot of luck. We see it all the time where these young quarterbacks kind of come out of nowhere, show that they're really good, and then they just flop or not the same once the league learns how to play them. Drake May was pedestrian to say the least, like the last 6 weeks, including the playoffs, wasn't great. I expected really big drop off there. The only thing they have going for them is how weak the rest of the AFC East is outside the Bills. So. But I'm going to say they miss. And then the teams that I have making it, which I probably should have stayed the AFC if I have these out, because the reason why I couldn't pick NFC teams for the teams missing is I do kind of like all of them. I like Carolina and I like every team in there, but I do have two NFC teams that are going to make it. I just can't tell you which ones are going to be out, but I do agree with you on the Vikings. I think they'll make it this year. And little spoiler alert about part 2 of my vibes ranking, but a top 5 team in those power rankings is going to be the New Orleans Saints. I love everything about this team. Now, maybe this is my fantasy love for their offense talking here, and maybe their defense will be shit and they'll be horrible. I think that team could be a playoff team this year. I'm really excited about it.
Interesting. Do you think if you said the name of the city that the Saints are from, that it'll?
I mean, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Oh! Are you making fun of me because I say New Orleans?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Is that you think I'm doing a Buffalo thing or?
Yeah, I think it's Orleans County. You're using that.
Right. That's fine as long as it's that instead of the GD dumb thing.
No, it's Erie Frontier Airlines you're going going right now.
Okay. All right,
yeah,
I'm fine with that. New Orleans. New Orleans.
You're like, I only get there by bus, and you're like, no, you can. No, it's fine. New Orleans, you got this. If they're gonna win, they're gonna do well. You got to go New Orleans. That's very interesting. Good hot take, and good plug for blitzmedia.com. Any back and forth on that? Anyone want to talk about those choices? Do you guys want to compare each other? Or?
I mean, I kind of like the call out. I think it's a bit ambitious with New Orleans. I don't know how much of a good team they're going to have. I do like their offense fantasy wise. I don't expect them to be a good team necessarily, but I could be surprised. I also expect them to add another receiver in the draft, whether it's Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon at 9. I honestly think that they're going to surprise a lot of teams and look that direction. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then Louis, if you're going to write a headline about Makai Lemon, what obvious take are you going?
I mean, we'll maybe talk about him a little bit in the mock draft, but like I like Lemon. I'm gonna keep repeating what I've repeated all offseason. Stick with it. It's like I'm not excited about this class really at all. I think there will be some guys that go to the right spots and work out, but usually like pre-draft, I have these guys are going to be great no matter where they go, and like I'll buy into them no matter where the spot is. This year, it's not that for me. But
all right. Third question, gentlemen. Who's one player that's currently a free agent or unemployed that will make the biggest impact in fantasy next year? And if they don't end up getting on a team, what would you expect their real world job to be?
That's good.
Who wants to go first? Anyone want to take dibs?
I do, only because I think there's one obvious answer, and I hope I get to it before Ryan. But
man, I'll be so pissed if you steal it from me.
I think the obvious answer is Aaron Rodgers. No,
okay.
I mean, okay, no. I there's a couple guys I think you can consider. I think here's why I almost went with somebody else, and it might be your guy. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to have huge value. He's going QB 32. What's his ceiling? I don't know. I do like the fact that he's back with McCarthy. I do like that he's got another wide receiver. I think Dowdle's better than Gainwell. Like, I think there's some upgrades there for him, but he's also Aaron Rodgers, right? So, but I think the obvious answer of the few guys that have any form of value, fantasy value, if we're just talking pure points, which we're not, we're talking value, but he is going to have the most points out of any free agent that's probably left out there. But if he doesn't, and he just says, hey, I'm done with football and I want to go get a real job, selling seashell necklaces on a beach somewhere, I feel like is a really good one for Rodgers. And I feel like that would be a TMZ story. Like, it would not even surprise me in a little bit that he wasn't taking profit. He was just making them and just sitting on a beach and just telling people the story behind him as he's giving it to them. Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, and he would pretend to be really upset that he got publicity about it, but he would actually really enjoy it. He'd be like, oh, I can't believe I didn't want anyone to find me down here and learn about my company. And now, yeah, it's totally Aaron Rodgers' move. Okay, I got that. All right, so I'm going to play the game a little bit here. The category is who is going to make the biggest impact in fantasy next year? And you didn't specify fantasy football. So I'm going to say this guy, Stephon Diggs, is not going to make an impact in fantasy football, but he may make an impact in fantasy because he is going to be the next Bachelor. There's an opening. All right. He is recently single, right? Let's put
wait. Oh, Stephon Diggs
on the Bachelor. Yes. I mean, it's you have all those guys on the Vikings that said, who is the one guy you would not want to date your sister? They said Stephon Diggs. I mean, that's the guy you want to have on the show. He knows how to handle multiple women, as evidenced in his past. I think he's a match in how the ratings you would get on that. I mean, he would make so much money. He might make more than he made last year. I mean, seriously, he would do so well with that.
That's so good. Allie, I think I crushed my 3 answers, and I'm ready for you to call me an idiot after that. That's good. That's perfect. I'm signed up. I'm calling Stephon Diggs to get him signed up. I'm going to write the article about it on blitzsportsmedia.com.
Yeah. I love someone whose proven dating track record is him ruining it. Every time they're like, the Bachelor's like, we're trying to go safe. We just had this Taylor Frankie Paul incident. Let's go with someone that is notoriously a cheater. And
no, they just go the other direction. Then they make the Frankie, whatever her name is, situation look not so bad, right?
They put the Mormons in there. Yeah. Or it's almost like Flava Flav again. Okay. Like a Rock of Love style.
Yes.
Rock of Ball.
It would be such a shit.
It'd be so good.
It would be so good.
Yeah. I mean, since Louis has requested it, I will say that Louis is the idiot this week.
Well, I
Before
don't want
that-
to win
before
just
that
because
answer,
Louis is
who was-
asking
who
for
was
it. I
it?
want
Because
you to
here's the
give
thing.
that answer.
I did like your first two comments, Ryan. Your first two answers to the questions. You did lose me on the Diggs thing, just because I just think he would be the worst bachelor, really ever.
What's up, girl?
yeah.
It would just be a lot of just like, yo, I dated Cardi.
Yeah,
You would be telling them all about him.
I told you my famous Stefan Diggs sideline story, right? It's not famous at all. It's really just by the way, 5'3" Sabres. One, he didn't wear any protection on over his pants. I mean, dumb, but his pants. But there was I had field passes. It was my birthday, and usually there's a game. My birthday is December 9th, and there was probably the game against like the Jets or something. And I was wearing full mittens, like actual mittens, not Drabble holding hands mittens, like actual this. And he threw Diggs would throw the ball to people on the sidelines. He threw it to me, not to brag. And then I was like, yeah, and I caught it, right? And then, but I was wearing mittens. So like, you can't really throw. Like, it's hard to be like, let me. Yeah. And so then I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, throw the ball. And I was like, and I had to throw the ball back with my mittens, but then you can't. So then I was like, and I was like, no, I know how to throw a football. I know how to throw a football. And I was like, so mortified. And I was like, my birthday, I threw it like, and then it was just, even like a little boy was like, you suck. And I was like, I know.
So it was one of Diggs's kids. Don't worry about
it. I think it was actually Von Miller's kid at the time. Oh, so mortifying. But great draft, everyone. But Ryan did win that in terms of being smarter. Louis, not so good. Okay. And one was for my favorite thing that Louis does is he'll say, yeah, the next question that I don't know what the question is, I'll probably talk about this, but I'll save that, which is funny. What? You always do the talk about this in the next question.
No, when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron?
Right? Oh, yeah. I
like that he's ranked 32nd. That makes me so happy. All right. We are now going to do the great Superflex mock draft. So Ryan and Louis, you're going to go back and forth mocking the first two rounds of a rookie draft. Each time you guys take a pick, you'll have to predict the team and draft pick that they're going to take in the actual NFL draft.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Have any who you want to go first?
Now, because I feel bad that I just said I didn't like his last answer, but he had such a strong who's the idiot. Ryan, please go first.
All right. So it's clear on who the first overall pick in any Superflex Dynasty rookie startup draft is going to be, and that's Jeremiah Love. I think unless you get a league where maybe there's not really a sharp team drafting at the one or somebody who really needs a quarterback, it's Love. And I'm going to say for the team that gets him, I'm going to predict it's the Washington football team or Commanders, whatever they are. I guess it's been the Commanders for many years now. I should know that. But I'm going to say they trade up with Arizona from 7 to 3 to get him, because I think they worry that either the Titans or the Giants will take him. And I know that's kind of ballsy and they don't have a ton of picks, but I think they dip into 2027 and it's not a huge move. And Arizona is, I think, wanting to trade back. So I'm going to pin Washington with Jeremiah Love.
I'm just getting back to being able to say running backs are important again, and I'm okay with him going in the top 10, and I'm okay with him being number one in this mock draft. But like trading up for one, I can't get on board with that. But I do think he ends up going in the top 5. I think he probably goes to Tennessee at 4. But either way, I don't see a situation where he's not the number one pick. So totally agree with you on that. I'm not getting scared with the Kirk Cousins thing here. I am scared for all Kohl's department stores in Las Vegas, because between him and fucking Mendoza, who is now my number 2 pick here, they are the biggest nerds, and they are going to be going on shopping sprees together. I do think Cousins is like the perfect teacher for the kid. I mean, he's smart. They're both they both are nerds. I think they'll be fine there. I think Mendoza has a ceiling, and I don't think it's great. Like, I think it's not a high ceiling. But in this really shitty draft class, and there's no other quarterbacks in a super flex, like, he almost has to be the 1-2.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I do think that there may be, depending on landing spot, if somebody gets a really, really good look, maybe it's somebody else gets pushed up, just team dependent. But I think the right call is to take Mendoza there. For 3, I'm going to go with Carnell Tate. I do think he's the best wide receiver in the class. I'm also a Matt Waldman follower, and he is very much Carnell Tate followed by Lemon in his rankings as the top 2 guys, pretty close in ranking. So I'm going to say this is a bit of a surprise too. I'm going to say Carnell Tate goes to the Giants. Now, nobody is really talking about the Giants taking a receiver, but to me, it is one of the most glaring needs on that roster. I know they need defensive help, but to me, their defense is not why they were losing games last year. They didn't have a secondary receiver beyond Wan'Dale Robinson once Neighbors went down, and they lost Wan'Dale this year. And Neighbors is, yes, he's likely to be healthy, but at the beginning of the year, I don't know. And beyond that, you don't have a wide receiver too. And Carnell Tate might fit perfectly in that role where you don't command all of the attention. So I would love the pick. And if he's there, I mean, I think he's locked in at 102 or 103 in the rookie drafts.
I have him. I had him 4th on my list, next to this guy that I'll take here. But I did have him going to the Giants. So I agree with you, and I don't think it's as surprising as you might think. I think it's a very strong possibility. My number 3, and of course I'm assuming, and Rye too here. Let's just go through one round. We're running short on time, so we're just going to go through one round here. In a tight end premium, it's got to be Sadiq here for me, and I'm going to say what I've been saying all off season here too. I think Carolina is the obvious choice and makes sense of where he should be drafted, where they're drafting, team need, and I just think he is going to be in that top tier of tight ends almost immediately.
I think in start 2 tight end premium leagues, he goes 1, 2. I think that's good value at 4.
I think there will be a case for him at 1-1 in those 2 tight end leagues. I think based off of roster construction,
it's the same argument last year as Genty versus those guys. And I sided with Genty, but it didn't happen that way. People were taking the tight ends first in the league that we're in together. All right, for my next pick here, I'm going to go with Mekhi Lemon. I think he's the second best receiver. There's a lot of really interesting spots here. I really hope that he goes before that run of teams that have kind of like I really don't want him to go to the Dolphins because I just don't trust that to really produce a lot this year. So I'm going to say Mekhi Lemon to the Saints. We were talking about this before. I do think because this draft class is a little bit down, I think receivers like this might get pushed up. So I would love Lemon in New Orleans. So
that's good. When I had my landing spot for him, it was Cleveland, and that doesn't make me feel as good, but I have them in the same spot as you. My next pick is Jordan Tyson here at the 1-6, I believe we're at, and that would be I have him going to Miami because I do think Miami can't pass up. I don't know. Nothing they do makes a lot of sense. I do think Tyson's injury thing I keep on saying that I think there's a really good chance that Cooper Jr. jumps him because of the injury thing, because of there's always, we've talked about this multiple times, there's always that one guy that just jumps up too far for being a combine darling. I wonder if that is a possibility, but I'm just going to go the safe route here. And even if that did happen, even if Tyson went behind Omar Cooper, I'm still going to believe in the player, and I would probably go Tyson no matter what here.
Yep. All right. I'm going to go Casey Concepcion next, and I'm going to pin him on the LA Rams. There's been a lot of buzz that they want a receiver. So whether it's Lemon, Tyson, or KC, I wouldn't be surprised if they, made a surprising pick, even if it's Omar Cooper Jr. I expect them to get a receiver. I think they're trying to plan to, remember the quote from, I think it was Sean McDermott a couple of years ago, not wanting to lose their fastball, right? And on offense, I think that's what the Rams are going to do with their passing game. So Casey Concepcion to the Rams.
I think he could fit there. I don't understand that pick so much, and I don't know if I'd be excited about that, to be honest, because of Stafford on the last year. McVay's always like this option of retiring, or said he wanted to, whatever.
Riding off into the sunset with Rossini.
Yeah. But I had Concepcion as my ninth pick, and I had the Jets either moving back or moving up for him. So either moving back from 16 a little bit and taking him, or then moving up from the second rounder after they already picked 2 non-receivers. But I like the player a lot. I would not like that spot for him so much. But yeah, I am at 1-9. My 1-7, who now will be the 1-8 in this draft, Jadarian Price in Seattle. And this is the only spot that I'm only putting him here. I don't love the running backs outside of Love here. He is a guy that I like. And the more you look at a couple of these spots for the running backs outside of, if Love goes to a team like the Titans, who does it, Titans, you could justify the Titans not quote unquote needing a running back, or, they might go for one of the later ones or something. Having them jump on Love would make it where there are still a couple really juicy spots for running backs, even though they all suck. I think Jadarian Price with Seattle would be a lot of fun, and he would turn into my 1-7.
All right. Again, with a tight end premium here, I'm going to go with Eli Stowers. I'm going to just bet that he goes to a place in the second or third that makes it worthwhile. I'm going to throw out, what if he goes to Baltimore? And I know they just signed Andrews, but doesn't he kind of replace what they had in Likely? And I know you have different coaching, but I just don't. That was such a bad move to re-sign Andrews, and he plays basically a slot receiver role. So they need more receiving weapons there. I kind of would like that, but either way, I really like Stowers, and I'm going to probably have a lot of him when the draft season's all said and done.
Here's something that's interesting, as we got just, I think, 3 more picks left. So let's try to push through real quick. But Omar Cooper Jr. would be my next pick here. And I have Philly taking him in the late first round. And that would make sense if the AJ Brown trade, happens, and then Cooper just comes in and immediately has a big role. So I like that. I like Cooper the player. I just hope he doesn't get overdrafted. And I do think everybody, I think he's going to be a way better best ball player. But go ahead.
I'll go Jonah Coleman. I think he's going to be a surprising riser after the draft. I know this running back class is not great, but I do think there's going to be a couple guys and a couple opportunities out there. And if you get the right one, it's going to work out. So we'll pin him in, let's say, Dallas. And, what you just have to worry about Javonte Williams, really. And who's worried about that? So.
Yeah, I have Mike Washington Jr. over him, and I had him maybe going to Washington, no pun intended. But I'm going to skip him, even though I did have him higher than the guy I'm going to put here in the 112. As I'm just sitting here looking at it out and thinking about it out loud, I don't love the player, but I think you have to take Ty Simpson wherever he goes,
yeah,
and
sure.
In a super flex. And I think a team like Arizona, or what's another one? I mean, I don't want it to be Cleveland. That's not, they got too much of a logjam. But Arizona, there's Jets. One of those 2 teams. He's worth the last pick in the first round. I don't want to bet on him too much, but I think he could be worth. I hate the class, so right there, I got to take him.
All right, that was so much fun, and.
Did you get your nails done? Can I see? I predict. I
did green today.
You can say on Louis' recommendation.
On the writer for sports.com gave me the idea. I like to paint my nails during the podcast, everyone, because why not? I like to be efficient with my time, and I gave the option of purple or a green, and Louis go green. So. I did.
Look at
Wow.
me. I'm giving you nail colored options.
Yeah.
I'm noticing you when you get haircuts.
Oof. Thank
It's
you.
like
You're
I am.
you're in touch
in
with some sort of side, and I appreciate it. So, yeah, take a sip of that. That's um, so good. Now that Louis is enrolled in a higher education institution, he's learned that movies are not just for background noise, but they're also interesting to watch. He's taking a theater class, I think, right? So we're going to a fun movie quote draft. There's nothing better than throwing out movie quotes and either crying or laughing or just going back and forth with someone with it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go with our favorite movie quote drafts. Now, Louis, if you could please give us the order.
Yeah, as I'm giving this, was this hard for you? This was so hard for me because I was like, oh my God, there's so many. And maybe I should have like narrowed it down to comedy or something, but so many good ones. I'm excited for this. Allie, you do have the first pick.
Oh,
And I am second, and Ryan, you are third. So, Allie, what is the best movie quote of all time?
okay. So I'm only taking this. This is one of my favorite movies. This is not my favorite movie quote, but I'm taking it to be strategic. But I'm going with Step Brothers. There's so many amazing quotes from Step Brothers. That movie is so quotable. Yes. If we ever see any of us in public, I'm sure you can throw a line at us and we'll be able to respond. But there is the great quote about bunk beds. I'm not going with that one, so it's still open. I'm going to go with I've been called the songbird of my generation. That is just so good. It's a great quote.
I love it. This is the part I'm going to love about this draft is that I think for especially the comedy movies that we all pick, there might be 10 for each movie that we could use, and it's like I really had trouble narrowing it down, but I love that choice, and Step Brothers maybe will be on this list again.
It will be.
I'm gonna go away from I am going to try to mix some comedy in here, obviously, because that's my genre, but I also need to play the crowd and play my favorite movies of all time. And I will even play the Italian card and go with, I'm going to give him or make him an offer he can't refuse from The Godfather. It's, that's Google material. I know that's going to be the number one on a lot of people's list, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's for a reason. One of the best quotes of all time. Ryan for 2.
All right. Well, there's a lot of different ways you can go here. There's like classic movie quotes, but I'd rather just go with ones that are near and dear to my heart, right? Like my favorite movies. So just quotes from there. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to my favorite movie of all time is My Cousin Vinny. As an attorney, I think it's so good. And there's so many great, there's so many great lines from there, but I will just say, the exchange that he has with the judge about the 2 Utes, and then the 2 youths. So it's silly, it's dumb, but I love that. All right. So good. Next pick is another very niche pick, but I'm just going to go with it. And it's also not a movie, so I might get disqualified, but I don't really care. I'm going to go with, it's a quote from Entourage, which is one of like my guilty pleasure shows when I was, in what was this, high school, college. And I would say the one that I think of all the time is when Turtle says to Vinny, he goes, "Quick decisions, Vince. That's why you're a star." And he just says it like that. I don't know why. It's always stuck in my head, but that's what he says. So it's just quick decision, Vince. That's why you're a star.
I hate that you're always breaking the rules in these things. Jackson did say nice selection on your first pick. I don't think he was saying about that pick because you're a cheater and you're always not following the rules.
They made a movie.
They did make a movie, but that wasn't in the movie.
It might have been.
It might have been. Maybe
Never saw it.
I'm coming at this from so many different ways. I do want one thing at least, and I think there's going to be a couple on my list, but like one thing that changed culture, that it was like where it was used, something that like you can say it to anybody and they know the reference, and it was actually part of like American language for a while. And with that, like one of the few things I think about all the time is as if, and it's simple and whatever, but from Clueless, as if, I mean, we all were saying that for 10 years. Some people still say it. So as if became a part of the American language after Clueless. So that's what I'll go with.
Great picks. You guys are killing it. So I'm just really doing movies that I love. So next up we have, because I get two, we will go with Love Actually, which is a great holiday film. But if you look for it, I've got a sneaky feeling you'll find that love is actually all around. I think that's very sweet, very lovely. And then following up with another classic of mine, another love story, and that is one of my favorite movies, Dumb and Dumber. And man, I have so many quotes on this. Is a movie I can verbatim, but my favorite is Big Gulps, huh? Well, see you later. So good.
And I think because of this is such a broad thing, we should just be able to just do one line from each movie. So I don't think I'm going to, but I had to dumb it. It's the we got no food, we got no jobs, we got no, our pets' heads are falling off.
Oh, you touched your mic.
Sorry. That was one of those movies you could do 20 on,
according to the map, we've only gone 4 inches. So,
so many good ones. So good. All right. I will go here with this is going to be the personal one. I'll go back to a personal one like you guys are doing. I needed to pick an Ace Ventura one, and my favorite one is If I'm Not Back in 5 minutes, Just Wait Longer. I mean, I still say it constantly. So that's one of my favorites. I'm glad I got an Ace Ventura quote before one of you guys took it.
Ryan.
Oh, me for 2?
Yeah,
Yep.
you for 2.
All right. So sorry, I was just laughing to myself looking up one. So my next one is from 40-Year-Old Virgin. I love that movie. I think it's like so underrated, and I'm just going to recite it because it's terrible, but here it goes. All right. It's when Steve Carell's talking about, he's trying to make up the story about sex. He's like, I dated this girl for a while. She was really a nasty freak. She just wanted to get down with sex all the time. Any time of the day, she'd be like, yeah, let's have sex. I'm so wild and dirty. And I'd be having sex with her and she'd say, oh, you're having sex with me. Great. Just so good.
Oh, it's so good.
So good. It
All
really
right.
is.
So good.
Cannot clip that. Please don't
I
clip
was
that.
just laughing.
I will 100% be clipping that. That will be in the open.
I was excited about this year, and it's gonna be like, let's have sex.
Yeah.
So good.
All right. I don't really have any other good ones. I'll just say "Show Me the Money" from Jerry Maguire. Just a classic line. Throw in for the audience.
That's
Love
a good one. All right, I'm gonna go with a good little, somewhat of a monologue too from one of my favorite movies. What were they like, anyways? They look pretty good. Are they real? Are they built for speed or for comfort?
Oh yeah.
What'd you do with a motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you. Where is she? She's still in the house. I like every time I watch Wedding Crashers, that is the one, and there is a million in Wedding Crashers as well that break me, but that one breaks me the hardest for sure.
Are we doing 4 or are we doing 6?
Ryan seemed unprepared, but you want to do 6 real quick, Ryan, or no?
We'll do 4.
Okay, doing 4. Go ahead. Your last pick.
So my last pick, though I have so many, we're gonna go with the first movie that made me fall in love with comedy. It was Young Frankenstein, and it's pronounced Frankenstein, and it's such a good Mel Brooks. Long live Mel Brooks. Yeah.
That was on my list. I think that's great. That's one of the classic ones. What do you said you got so many? Go ahead, run
Oh,
through some of your honorable
Jurassic
mentions.
Park, Clever Girl. And then we've got and then this is another movie that changed my life and how I laugh at things, but the original movie Airplane, and it was Surely You Can't Be Serious, and it was I Am Serious, and Don't Call Me Shirley. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get into that young? Because I did not get into that movie until I was like into comedy, like doing comedy, because everyone said this is famous, and I got into it too late.
Leslie Nielsen, my dad was also very big on showing me that movie. All the Steve Martin movies I watched, The Jerk, way too young.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had no idea, if you watch, it's a lot of sexual innuendos, but also the Lethal Weapons, or all the Leslie Nielsen stuff in the OJ movies. But no.
Anything else? I got
tons, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'll run through a few real quick. I got I'll Have What She's Having. And this I'll Have What She's Having is a great one because I never saw that movie and I know what that means, where it was said. When I went to the deli in New York, I knew where the scene was, and I had just never seen the movie. So that's why I think that's great. You Can't Handle the Truth. If you build it, they will come. There's No Crying in Baseball. Here's Johnny. Say Hello to My Little Friend. Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. The one I really wanted to use because, again, it changed. It added a word into the dictionary is from Along Came Polly when rest his soul. What's his name? Jesus. What's the dude?
Jerry Stiller?
No, who's the Stiller's best friend in the movie? He died.
Chris Wall.
No. Jesus.
Hoffman.
Philip
Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah. And they're at the party and he comes in. He's like, guys, he goes, dude, I got an emergency. I just sharted. It was the first time shart was ever used. And now
Along Came Polly. Yeah. I love when he's like shooting he's just let it rain.
Oh, let it rain. Raindrops. And they're just all bricks. Rain Man. Dude, such a
good movie.
So
yeah.
Good. Oh man, that was such a fun draft. I think we could do a part 2 of this one day.
Yeah, that was lovely. I'm telling you, I could kept going, but that's good. We need yeah. And thanks, Jackson, for quoting. Great. Thanks for listening. Everyone, this is Analytics Are for the Nerds. We like to have fun. We like to come up every week and talk about sports and what's going on in pop culture, whether it's related to athletes or sports, doesn't matter. But thank you for listening. We are a Comedy Dynasty football podcast. We will see you next week, Wednesday. Have a great night.